Okay. Now.
Now? Now can we say it?
Now we can say it. Bring it over. There you go.
All right. Hello, everyone.
All right, get this one down here.
Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead.
Yes.
We are working on lighting.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all.
We're like, what was the few things that used to come on the Muppets or something? Pigs in space. You know, I mean.
No, we hung something dark up.
No,
and
we're outside. Do not listen to her. It is pitch black here. There's no stars in the sky. They all fell to the earth. It's over, guys. It's the end of the world.
No, we
As we
hung up
know
a
it.
black cloth in order to see what would happen, and it diffused the light, and it made it better. Now I just got to figure out what to do, because we did this like 5 minutes ago. So now we got to figure out what to do so we're not out in space. At least you can see us, and we can see us, and it makes everything a little different.
Oh man.
So somebody says, no drought yet here. Is it coming? And I don't know where you're at.
Where, Connie? I don't know where you live at.
I don't have a clue.
We got people from all over the countries and in other countries.
Yeah.
Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. I mean, good Lord.
How is it outside? Oh, it was raining up until about 10, 15 minutes ago.
I went and checked my rain gauge. We got a half an inch.
Oh, I was thinking maybe toward an inch.
Nope, we got half an inch.
But that's been like 3 showers all afternoon. Y'all do look like you're in outer space.
We are. I am so spaced out right now. I told Wanda, I said I was going to do this.
And you mess with my camera. Stop.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-oh, guys. This is what happens. This is what happens when you're live. You have to decline. You have
to call them back.
I have to call them back.
That was for Danny.
That was for me. Very important phone call. But you know what? You guys are just as important.
Yeah, you just had to make a call in a little bit. Just don't forget it.
They're probably going to bed because they're an hour ahead of us.
That's all right.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Danny?
Well,
like he's in space.
I feel like I'm.
Oh, you got to talk about doctors. That's one thing.
Why?
Because we told them last weekend that you were going to be going to a doctor, and we did go.
We did go to the doctor, and the doctor did just what we expected. I went in and sat down with him, and he asked me why I was there. And I told him, I said, well, I'm having some problems with my heart. And he listened to my heart. He said, well, he said, you got PAC, sound like. I said, well, I had a bunch of tests ran at the hospital. I said, and blood work and done all this kind of stuff. And he said, well, I signed some forms for him to go pull that stuff up from the hospital and be able to get it. And, well, they didn't get it while I was there because the hospital only has somebody there 1 day a week that gets information out. So he said, we'll call you back if it's anything I think is life-threatening or anything like that. He said, but what I'm hearing is PACs, which is nothing to be concerned about. He said, I can give you a pill to stop it. And I said, nope, I ain't taking no pills. He said, well, it might be something in your diet. So I said, I eat organic and drink water. He said, well, you need to lower your stress level then. I said, well, I don't know if that's possible. I said, the world's going to come to an end right quick. And I said, and I'm waiting on Jesus. And, of course, he laughed. But
he's a good guy.
He's a really good guy.
So he's supposed to be getting the test results from the hospital. Still hadn't got those. And we're going to go from there. Yeah. But on a good note, some of the week has been pretty good. You have your days and times of the day, but
I have my times, I'm like everybody else.
It's not as severe as it was last weekend, but it's still going on.
Yeah, it's when I sleep at night, it doesn't bother me at all. As a matter of fact, it calms down, does absolutely very little at all during the night.
What is PAC?
Pre-arterial contractions.
Is that what it's called? I don't know. Yeah. Let me look for my paperwork.
Pre-atrial contractions or something like that.
I'll look while you talk.
But and then I just Yeah, I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. To be honest with you, I'm not going to. I'm not gonna freak out. I'm not taking pills. I'm just gonna live my life. You know. I mean, all I got to look forward to is heaven. So.
Nope, that ain't it. All right, I'm not sure.
Danny, when should I stop watering my field corn? When it starts drying, I suppose. I mean, as long as it's growing, keep watering it.
Okay, let's see. Somebody, Mr. Ray is saying starting at 4,000 an acre. So what are you?
What you talking about, Mr. Ray? I see you. A lot of the chat we didn't see.
Yeah, I did not find my keys, so keys are gone.
Yeah, the keys are just lost.
Dee was listening to John Rich's new song, Progress. I had to go listen to that. I kind of like to listen to him. Have you ever made pumpkin butter? No.
No, we have never made pumpkin butter.
We don't really grow pumpkins. We grow sweet potatoes, and we grew the Cherokee tan pumpkins, but they're small. And so I just do those individually as I want something.
Paula says, I think you know too much of what's coming. Yeah, I was speaking with me and Wanda met with Kevin and Sarah from Living Traditions this week, and we had a good long talk with them. They're real close friends of ours, and Kevin and I, Sarah and all of us, we just got a good laugh about. Sometimes we talked about how that, you know, the animals on our farm have the best life in the world, and they just have one bad day when we take them out. And I told him, I said, sometimes it's kind of like if we were just like the sheeple, everything would just be hunky dory and everything would be great, and then all of a sudden the world would come to a collapse and we'd all just have one bad day. It'd just be a bad day for us. But
instead, we know too much.
But we know too much, and that's just biblical, because Solomon said in the scriptures, with much wisdom comes much sorrow. So, so we know that the more we know, the more sorrowful we'll be.
All right, Hills Mill said a walnut background finished with oil with no glare would look real nice. Well, it's up to you.
Mr. Mickey, you'll just have to make that happen, my brother.
Just had to fix us a nice. It needs to be like a 4x8, or does it need to be bigger than 4x8? What size?
4x8.
Yeah, it would work really well, Mickey.
Yeah, don't have to be very thick though. It can be thin because it'd be too heavy to pick up and down. Ms. Roberts, I think it was, said she broke her wrist and had to have surgery this week. Keep her in her prayers.
Gosmania, you're welcome. She asked about her cow today, so I was messaging back and forth between.
How is the cow doing? Is it doing okay?
She said he was losing a little weight, but it's hot.
Well, that's causing
different things.
Yeah.
And so she was asked about wormer, and I told her about Dr. Warren.
Yeah.
The stuff you put on the back.
Yeah, use Ivomec.
Okay, I didn't remember the name. How is Trixie? Kicking her heels. And she's very vocal.
Oh, yeah.
Betty was
too.
Oh,
yeah, she's very vocal. Every time I turn around, she's just like, blah, 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 and, but she's running, kicking her feet up in the air. I mean, she's staying with the herd. Wherever the herd goes, she's right there with them. I mean, she's doing good.
Nadia said to keep Miss Vicky in your prayers, but they did found her daughter. Good.
Yeah.
I had not seen that day. I've been a little busy. I hadn't. Y'all, I've been trying to paint this bathroom that's right here, the office, the bathroom, and another bedroom. And I wanted to get the bathroom painted, and I started, a month and a half ago? It
took her about a month and a half to get the wrong color first, and then finally we got the right color, and then
it took me one day.
It took one day, yeah.
And Annie trimmed it out and repainted the white trim and stuff. And so I'm in the process of working on this bathroom, and it's looking nice.
Mr. Ray says someone asked for the price of land around Tylertown there.
Oh, okay. Lamp on the floor between you with a linen towel will give you lighting you need to. Putting it right here?
On the floor between us.
Okay, I don't know. We've got a lamp that we can
can't put a light. I can't put something over a linen thing over a light. Like I said, on fire.
Yeah.
Cindy said, what makes a rooster crow continually all day? He has 10 ladies. Well, that's why he's crowing. I mean, he's the big boy. He's walking around amongst all these chicks. I mean,
I don't like the continuous crowing roosters either.
They said they found the remains of Miss Vicky's daughter.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
no.
No,
I was hoping you meant they found her.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that is horrible.
I'm sorry.
I am so sorry, Vicky, if you're on here.
But Miss Nadia was the one who was posting.
Yeah.
But I see where she said that. I did not know. I haven't had time to go look.
Yeah.
Man, I feel bad about that because that's people's worst nightmare.
Yep.
And there's a boy I've been trying to keep up with, and I have not checked in the last 2 or 3 days. Daniel Rounds or Pounds, I don't know, out like Vegas type area. He's in the desert. He wanted to homestead, and at 18, he had bought some land out in the desert type, and he was homesteading, and he come up missing. And they've been looking for him, I know, 5 or 6 weeks, and I've not heard what's happening there either.
Yeah.
I've been trying to keep up with it. The last 2 or 3 days been kind of weird for us.
Yeah, we've
Dylan Rounds.
Okay,
that was his name.
MLP says Christy Betts, her video is devastating. She lost all 3 of her children.
Oh, wow.
I can sympathize with that. My former wife that passed away lost 3 of her children at one time. And I can tell you what a devastation that has on a parent to lose 3 kids at one time.
Yeah.
She said, "Wow, here I thought I was doing him a favor." Are you doing him a favor? But you know.
Okay. Tracy.
Brother Danny, I'm reading on Very Well Health, and it says unless PACs are triggering AFib, it's almost never necessary to treat them.
Yeah.
And it's not triggering AFib. I mean, I'm not. Every doctor I've been to says I do not have AFib. They don't see any sign of it or nothing like that.
But now, Tracy was asking, is it safe to use a pressure canner that has one handle broken? I don't know what kind of pressure canner you have.
It depends on if you need to pick it up or down or not while it's hot.
Well, if it's one of those that the handles latch, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But I don't know.
I don't know about that. Is it an All-American or something that the handles latch and that's part of holding the pressure down? Because if the handles latch and one of them doesn't latch, you have the tendency for that to be unsafe. I don't know. I would check with the company because I don't have one of those.
Says she lost each child 10 years apart.
Wow.
Okay.
How do you get rid of aphids on okra?
On okra, probably just a water hose, with a spray nozzle on them. Spray it real hard. And a little Dawn dishwashing liquid. Just a little bit now, a couple of drops in a spray bottle. And spray it on them. And that's what we found works the best for us now.
Grumpy Acres said if it's an All-American, you don't need to use it if one of the handles is broken.
Okay.
I don't have one of those, so I didn't know. Are you still satisfied with the fruit press you used for the juice to juice the scuppernongs last year?
Yes.
Which fruit crusher would you recommend?
Oh, I don't remember the name of it.
I don't know.
Now there's a crusher that goes on top of it that you crank a handle. It's got all these teeth that crushes up like apples and all that kind of stuff.
We got it too.
We have that too. And then we got the bags and we got the press and all that stuff. I just don't remember what the name of it was. Now I mounted it on my own table, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. She said it is just to twist the lid to remove it. It's a Presto type. Oh, okay. That's okay.
It doesn't affect it at all.
You're just gonna have to let it cool off before you start trying to undo it. It would be let it totally cool.
I mean, to be honest with you, they're $100.
Yeah.
It might be just as cheap. Now you might can buy a handle for them. I don't know.
I would go look see if they don't have a handle. And
you might could go online
screw it back
and
on.
just get you another handle.
That would be the cheapest bet. How is the Deep South Homestead doing tonight? That's Tim Beverly. I haven't seen Tim in a while.
Tim. I haven't seen you in a while, my brother. We're doing okay. I mean, we've had better days. We've had worse days. Today was a better day for us because we got a half an inch of rain today. That was like fantastic for
Yeah,
us.
I got to hunting Danny, and he was sitting out on the porch watching it rain.
I was sitting on the porch, and the wind was blowing. It was raining. I was getting wet, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Just sitting out here because it's not so hot. I can sit out here right now." You know.
How do you know when sweet potatoes are ready to harvest? We
Well,
got a video Monday.
We do have a video coming up Monday, but
well, we talk a little bit about
you need to, when you plant them in the ground with the slips, you need to mark that day down on the calendar, count 125 days into the future, and put a note on your calendar to check the sweet potatoes, because at 125 days, if it hadn't been through a bad drought, and ours has been through a bad drought, so we're going to go a little longer than 125, but usually 125 to 150, somewhere in that area, you should be able to dig them.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Ron Foster, just chipping in. Ron Foster, the book author. And then Tammy and Sherry Homestead at Waterfall Cottage. Yay for rain. Awesome.
Yep. We got a little bit today. We ain't complaining. They didn't put no water in the pond, but we glad it watered the ground.
Okay, so somebody asked,
why don't we plant more Danny corn? More Danny corn instead of the Hopi corn. The Danny corn doesn't have enough time to make it.
Yeah, the number of days was different.
The number of days.
Somebody asked about the freeze dryer. I have been using the freeze dryer, but I do not use it 24/7. Right now, I'm freezing up trays to use. I've got okra, some milk, and some juice. I think I put juice in there. So I'm going to be doing different things. I ordered the little, I don't know if I showed them last time, but I bought them in town. The silicone tray that's like a cubes, like ice cubes, and you can pour anything liquid in it and then freeze dry it, and then it'll dump out a lot easier. So I'm going to be testing that shortly. I just opened up some freeze dried sweet potatoes that I did in the fall and made Danny's dessert, and he's totally happy with that. So I know we're going to be doing that again.
Do flowers mean they are growing sweet potatoes finally? Didn't know they flowered. Yeah, sweet potatoes flower. They're in the morning glory family. They're actually not a potato. They're in the morning glory family, and they have a flower much like a morning glory. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean they're making potatoes. It just means they've reached a certain point in their lifespan, and at a certain number of days, usually around 100 days, they start making flowers. And it's just part of the cycle.
What do you think about putting shade cloth over the garden? Would it cause them not to flower? I think's what it said.
No, you can put shade cloth over it as long as it's not too much of a shade cloth.
And it doesn't need to be right on your plants, right?
Right.
It needs to be above your plants. What is the pink stuff on corn seeds?
Oh, that is a fungicide that's put on them, because usually it's only the sweet corn seed that have it, because sweet corn is usually planted when it's cold, and the seed take a little longer to germinate and come up, and this is a fungicide on them that keeps them from rotting before they come up.
T. Prada, we do not do Telegram or the other one.
We don't do
that. Is not us.
That's not us.
Get that. Please do not go over there.
No.
We've told people on numerous videos, live streams, and Danny did a video a month ago saying do not go on those. Those are spammers.
They're just spammers.
They will take your money. We will never send you to Telegram, or what's the other one? I don't remember. We don't do that.
We don't do any of that. The question was asked, forgot who it was, Badonk or one of them said, they had squash plants that had all male flowers. What's up with that? Squash plants, that's the way they attract pollinators. They put all male blooms on to start with, and they wait until the bees come to the male flowers. If no bees ever come to the male flowers, it just keeps putting on male flowers, because once the bees come to it, it triggers the plant to start putting on female flowers, so they got something to pollinate with. So if you're not having any bees, then it'll just keep making male flowers.
Yes, Living Traditions Danny corn did look good, but we talked to them this week, and they are in a major drought, but they did get rain this morning. Not a lot, but they got some. But I've never seen their grass look like that. Their grass is always
we looked at all their stuff. It really bad.
they're watering because they have irrigation, but at some point they need rain.
Bell Pepper said that they watched your video on harvesting popcorn. What do you set them on to dry your first year? For me, we have corn dryers. Ms. Allison blessed us with some corn dryers. Do we have them in a video?
Yeah, just a brief shot.
It's just a brief shot in a video. They're antique corn dryers. You can go to eBay, and they run about $12 to $20 a piece. But you can just look up antique corn dryers on eBay, and you should find them, and that's what we have our corn stuck on.
But you can also put it in different places. We've always, through the years before we got that, we put it on different things to dry. We've had racks. We've tried hanging it up. We've tried everything to dry. You're in a humid area, and it takes a lot to keep the airflow. You really need airflow around the corn. Don't pile it on top of each other and stuff like that.
Okay, Kentucky Prepper says, how do you get rid of squash bugs? Well, Kentucky Prepper, what we do is we use liquid phosphorus from Dr. Earth, or we use fish emulsion. Anything that stinks really, really bad, worse than the squash bugs and the stink bugs, we put that right around the base of the plants about once a week. And so far, we've done really well with keeping them off of our plants.
Somebody asked, did we hear about the Mylar bags not being produced after August or September? What they're doing, they're changing them from where you can't see through them because of people sending pot through the mail or whatever, and they can't see in those Mylar bags. We have Harvest Right, and I've always used Harvest Right. I have some of the ones from Amazon, but I like my Harvest Right. And as far as I know, Harvest Right is going to continue. They did not say, I got some in from them this week. They did not say they were discontinuing their bags at all. But now ordering Amazon and places like that, you're going to get a Mylar bag. It's not that they're not going to make them. They're going to be Mylar bags, but they're going to be see-through Mylar, which is kind of defeating the purpose, but still.
Yeah, I think so.
You know,
but once again, it goes back to the dope heads. You know what I mean? Everything's about dope.
Okay, let me think.
We have a giveaway, guys. We're going to be doing a giveaway.
Let me show you what we're going to be doing. And we'll tell you what you got to do for a giveaway. We're not giving it away tonight.
No, it ain't getting giveaway tonight.
Okay? I'm only showing this because this is the big vault that Survival Garden Seeds has. They sent us several packs. This is the one that has...
That's got like 100 packs in there or something?
100. They're non-GMO, guaranteed to grow, non-hybrid, chemical-free, heirloom seeds, open pollinated, really good seeds.
Now I will say this, everything we planted out of these is exactly what it was supposed to be.
And it produced.
And every one of them came up.
Now what we're giving away comes in this seed packet like this, and it is the 50 packs of seeds. It's called the Homesteader Collection with 50 in a pack.
Yeah, there's 50 in a pack.
Now in this pack, you get herbs,
vegetables, and flowers.
Yeah, and it's all of them that you should have on your homestead. That's what we liked about it, was that it was seeds that everybody ought to grow. It wasn't off the wall seeds and stuff you wouldn't need.
It's not stuff that people just don't grow.
Yeah, and so we thought that was an excellent deal. But Survival Garden Seeds is sponsoring this, and what we would like to do, if you've grown Survival Garden Seeds from some that we sent you in the past when they did the first giveaway, if you put your pictures on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, whatever, if you put it on there anywhere, or YouTube, do the hashtag Survival Garden Seeds, and I would also say do hashtag Deep South Homestead, so we kind of know that you did it. We can see it. But Survival Garden Seeds is going to be looking for those pictures, so y'all do that. But to win Monday's video,
leave a comment with the name
Survival
Gardeners.
No, Garden.
Survival Garden Seeds.
Yeah, it has to have the words survival garden seeds in the comment Monday's video. And we will draw toward the end of the week or something, and we'll put up a video. We will not say anything in the comments. Do not go to Telegram. Do not go to
Yes.
all them places.
KP, hey Danny, have you used alfalfa pellets when starting corn? And if so, do I need to also add fertilizer at the same time? No, I do not use alfalfa pellets when starting corn because most alfalfa is genetically modified. I do not want that in my soil. Now there's some out there that's not, but predominantly most of it is. I always use heavy nitrogen when I first. Well, I use like 8-24-24 or triple 13 when I plant my corn, and then when it's 8 inches high, I put ammonium sulfate to it, and then when it's 12 inches high, I put ammonium sulfate to it again, and I don't fool with it after that. I just lay it by and let it go.
All right, somebody said my pole beans aren't flowering because of the heat. Will they start to flower when it cools?
First of all, it depends on pole beans and snap beans and all that kind of green beans, whatever you want to call them, are cool weather plants. They're not made to grow in the heat. If you plant them in the heat, they're probably not going to produce because the blooms will not set in anything over about 80 or 85 degrees. It just won't set pods, it won't set blooms because they are a cool weather plant.
All right, how would you store water?
You can actually not pressure can, but water bath water to store it.
In jars.
In jars. You can actually put it in jars and water bath it, and I don't remember the number of minutes or anything like that. But you can do that to save water.
Somebody wants to know, how's your Hopi corn doing? Okay, yeah, he almost had a heart attack this evening.
I did. I literally, man, I went over there and I've been diligently annihilating wild animals, okay? And that may sound horrible to a lot of people, but I've been just downing anything that moves.
That touches
anything that touches anything I have that's food, I just get rid of it. You know, I just
still have gobs of birds, we got armadillos.
We got everything around here.
He thought the squirrels were staying in the woods.
I've gotten rid of so many squirrels this summer till I was like, okay, maybe I've got them back to where we're not seeing them every couple of minutes running through the yard or through the garden or whatever. And lo and behold, I went over to my Hopi corn this evening, and 3 or 4 of my big things that had beautiful corn in it, they just cut them off at the ground and dug the seeds up and ate them.
And they were like 8 to 10 inches tall.
They were good 6 to 8 inches tall. And I was so mad, so I knew it was fixing to rain, so I dug right back and put some more Hopi corn seed down, covered it up. So tomorrow, I will be sitting out there once again with my shotgun while I'm working, and I'll be watching that. And if he comes down a tree to come into my cornfield, I'm going to take him out.
Lori said she planted the Great Northern beans from the grocery store, and they came up. We've planted those beans.
We done black-eyed peas that way.
And we did red kidney beans.
Kidney beans. We done both of them.
Yeah. So, when using neem on tomato plants, is it harmful if it gets on the actual tomato to eat, or will it rinse off?
If you use some vinegar and water to clean the tomato with, because see, neem, and you may have to use a little soap too, because neem is an oil, and you've got to use something to cut that oil to get it off, because neem is just a natural, it's really organic. It's a natural substance from the neem plant, and you're going to need some kind of dishwashing liquid or something to get it off of the plants, because I tell Wanda that all the time. Make sure you wash it with a good detergent that breaks down oil.
Yeah, it says neem oil is not toxic. In other words, you won't die from it, but some people might get a little sick if they had too much, but 1 tomato, wash it good.
Yeah.
You know. People say they add jars of water to their canner if they don't have a full batch. That is another way to have water in jars. It's like if you're canning and your canner holds 7 quarts and you only have 5 quarts of beans, put 2 quarts of water, and at least you have water sterilized for the future.
What do I think about Pelosi going to Taiwan? I think that is the stupidest one thing I have ever heard in my life. What does she know? I mean, she can't even do anything over here. And secondly, Taiwan is probably going to try to take our plane down, which it wouldn't be a bad thing, I don't reckon, but it would be an act of war, I can tell you that. But she's got no business over there.
No.
She just got no business over there.
How do you keep peas from being stung?
You got to spray them, guys. If you want to keep them from being stung, the only way to do it is you just gonna have to either go get up before daylight and go out to your pea patch, and as soon as it gets where you can see those leaves on that plant, go to raking off the stink bugs into a little container of soapy water, or either you're gonna have to get some spray and just spray them. I mean, that's the only two ways I've ever known. Now we don't use any spray. We just go through and at daylight and we try to rake off as many stink bugs as we can, and we usually pretty much keep it under control that way.
Can you water sweet potatoes too much?
Yes, you can overwater sweet potatoes.
I did last year.
One of two things will happen. You'll either rot the potatoes in the ground, or you'll have all vines and no sweet potatoes.
Yeah, I did that last year in his high tunnel. He planted sweet potatoes, and I watered them every day. Really good watering every day, and they didn't produce because they just were not good.
Yeah, I guess people talk about Pelosi. I guess
just
the one.
Let them keep her.
I was fixing to say one of the good things is that maybe if they just keep her or something. I mean, I don't know. Well, she stays over there all the time.
How
anyway.
do you deter skunks? I don't know. We got one.
We just shoot them. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you.
He shot that one twice.
I shot it twice last week.
But then we smelled it this week.
But
so
we didn't know. We didn't know if it was died and just released itself, or what. But we did smell it about 3 or 4 days later, so we don't know yet.
Can I make squirrel stew or fried squirrel legs?
You can if it's cold enough. I'm not eating them in this heat because they got wolves all in them.
Yeah, this time of the year is not good to eat squirrel.
Do I wait for blooms to fall off of potatoes before I harvest? Oh yeah, you wait till you plant. Well, if it's the Irish potatoes or white potatoes or whatever you want to call them, yeah, wait till the plant dies. But if it's sweet potatoes, wait your whole length of days.
When do you anticipate getting your rabbit set up? We are going to do a rabbit video.
Is it next week? This coming week?
It won't be this week probably. It'll probably be the Monday after. We hadn't even filmed it yet. We won't get our rabbits till closer to September. We've got almost a month, but he's got the building done, and it looks amazing. Y'all gonna love it.
Let's see here. My cucumbers putting on no new growth. Will they produce again? It depends. It just depends whether you have pollinators or not.
All right. A lot of the questions are getting past us really quick because the chat's jumping. So if you've posted, turn around and repost, and we'll try to get it. What's a wool on a squirrel?
That is a mosquito-like or a fly bites the squirrel, injects an egg underneath the skin, and it grows into a big giant worm under the skin, and you'll have big patches of hair missing on the squirrel. Doesn't really hurt the squirrel, but it looks horrible. I mean, I've killed them before where there's like 6 of them in a squirrel, and he has no hair on his body. He's got giant knots all over him.
And you just don't want to eat
you don't want to eat that. I mean, the Game and Fish Commission will tell you, because I asked them, that it doesn't harm the animal in any way, but it's they look nasty.
All right. Somebody wants to know, what will eat potatoes underground?
Rats, voles, groundhogs. I mean, anything like that.
Yeah. Bertha says she can't wait to see the rabbit building, looking to start some rabbits herself. Danny has thought of just about everything.
I've tried to think of everything.
And
I'm sure I forgot something.
Yeah, you probably have. We haven't gotten the
hay
feed thing, and we haven't got the hay thing. So we do have something to do this week before we get ready to do that.
What breed of rabbits are we getting? They're called the Tamuk, right?
T-U-M-U-K or T-A-M-U-K?
I think it's Tamuk.
T-A-M-U-K.
They were created by a university. They're supposed to be very heat tolerant. I'm eating pecans.
Miss Sherry may be on here. If she is, she can tell us. Or Miss Sharon. Sharon. I forgot. Miss Sharon. Oh, she's going to get me. Names are just running through my head like crazy. Sorry about that. What would be eating my bush green beans?
Probably grasshoppers.
Yeah.
Put that on the floor. Probably grasshoppers, more than likely. They're bad about that, especially in our high tunnels. They get in our high tunnels lots of times, and they'll strip plants and everything else. And it's one of those things that uh, sometimes we just have to get out there at daylight in the morning or before daylight, and we have to turn the lights on in the high tunnels and just do a walkthrough because the grasshoppers will usually be sitting right on the outside the leaf edges, and that way we are able to pick them off and they're going to go feed them to the chickens. How many animals do we have? Well, we got 4 cows and a bull and 2 calves.
I've got,
We got 3 turkeys.
let me think with the chickens. I've got 1 rooster and 12 hens that are ISA browns.
Yeah, the ISA browns, yeah.
And I've got
a rooster, and 4 hens
that are
Rhode Island Reds.
And then I got 7 more Rhode Island Reds that I had put up that somebody wanted them to come get, and nobody's ever come got. So we have 7 Rhode Island Reds that are just sitting there, hens.
Yeah.
And
it's bad when you can't give a chicken away.
Yeah. And we're out of animals other than that.
That's all the animals we got.
Yeah, but we're fixing to get rabbits.
We're fixing to get rabbits, but we're also going to down the turkeys as soon as it cools off a little bit.
Yeah, the turkeys were supposed to have been downed about 2 or 3 weeks ago, so they're getting pretty hefty.
Yeah.
Why is everything in the garden so late and so far behind?
Well, first of all, it didn't turn warm for a long time this spring, and then when it finally turned warm, it went straight from winter to the middle of summer.
And beyond.
And beyond, and then we're on a roller coaster now. So it's been extremely dry, then it's extremely wet, it's extremely dry, it's extremely wet, extreme temperatures. The plants don't know what to do. We've had pear trees that's done lost all their leaves and bloomed again and got baby pears on them.
Bridget asked, you mentioned a Bible in a live stream before. It would be before the King James. And it might be a Greek Bible, but I don't know. She asked a couple of times. I just kept forgetting. Thank you, Tony.
What
would
it's on the tip of my tongue.
Okay, I missed that. I started reading it and jumped. How to get rid of fire ants? I don't know.
Diamond, if you get an answer for that one, you'll be the richest person in the world.
Oh, I wish we could get rid of them. They're changing $20 each. Charging $20 each for laying hens and 10 for a rooster.
I'll give mine away.
I got 7. If you want them, you can come get them. That's all I can say. What do you think of the traditional Catholic Latin Mass? I don't know.
I don't do Mass. I don't believe in Mass. If that's your religion, that's fine. Not mine. So.
What would be eating my mama's zinnias?
Could be anything. Deer love flowers.
Insects too.
Yes.
What would you charge for a dozen fresh brown eggs? Are you wanting some?
If you want some fresh brown eggs and you just want to come pick them up, you can have them.
The Geneva Bible, is that it? That might be it.
That was it, the Geneva Bible.
What sweet potatoes is good to grow in South Louisiana?
We do the Puerto Rican Reds.
They said Greek Bible, so I'm not sure.
The Puerto Rican Reds work out real good for us. The Nancy Halls, if you like white ones, the Nancy Halls do real good. The Triumph, which is a white one, does really good. The Vardaman sweet potatoes do real good here in South Mississippi or South Louisiana. I mean, there's several of them that does really, really good.
I don't know. Somebody was. That is not happening.
Extension says can't eliminate fire. That is true. You cannot eliminate fire ants.
All right, fix that rings. They just want to twist.
Well, that's cable over here. This computer screen's on a rotating thing here, and it keeps going around in circles.
I wanted to see. Somebody said something. Y'all need to rein in the new mods. We don't punish for emojis or capital letters here. This isn't a safe space with a pacifier show. I don't know what you're saying. My mods are pretty well trained.
Our mods know about everything.
We don't do emojis usually.
Yeah, we don't do emojis because emojis put you into a.
If you do a lot of them, now like
Yeah.
one is okay, but if you start doing a lot of emojis, trolls do that. So
Yeah.
my moderators are kind of trained to watch for a lot of emojis. And if you put things in all caps, we can read them. If it's questions,
Yeah.
that's mainly, but we don't do a lot of emojis here. One or two is fine. We have that is overlooked. But if you do like lines of them, usually that's when we
Yeah.
have problems.
I wouldn't put any kind of oil or anything in my soil, guys.
Bible? I don't
Uh,
know. Emojis don't put you in jail. No. But but lots of times trolls use that.
Trolls use that as a way of doing things. Plus, it is not good for our algorithm.
Susan said she made the sweet potato squares recipe from Danny's manual last week, and it was delicious. Thank you.
Danny, are you expecting a hay shortage in your area this year? Yes.
We had one last year.
We had one last year, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna have one this year. Danny, when do you set out your green onions? We already done a video on that. Ours was set out weeks ago, and we still got a few we may set out, but it should be already be done.
Let's see. We use equal parts of borax and sugar for black ants. Will that not work for fire ants?
No. Doesn't work for fire ants.
Nothing works for fire ants.
The question was asked, are elderberries toxic for chickens? Anything in moderation. If you just let them sit and gorge on them, it might not be good for them, but anything in moderation is not going to hurt them.
We have not eaten catfish in the last 2 or 3 weeks, but we will do a catfish video probably as long as it cools off some. We can go out there. We'll show catching.
I knew this question was going to come up sooner or later. What did Danny mean when he said 20%, only 10% of homesteaders are going to survive what's coming? Somebody I knew voice that it's going to come sooner or later. And guys, it's honest to God truth. I mean, I can't go into it right here. This is not the video for it. There's things that's coming that homesteaders are just not prepared for. I mean, they think of everything in the world but these things, and I'm not going to go into it on this video. Just listen to Porch Time, because in Porch Times I may allude to them, but they're very controversial and they can get you in trouble.
Gerard says, I mess with the fire ants until they move to the neighbors. That is a good idea. Thank you, Gerard.
Yeah. I mean, if you keep, like, I'll give you an honest opinion here about fire ants. If you're willing to watch what you're doing, I do it all the time. I just go in there and start stomping their bed. Every day I go and stomp that bed and make sure I don't get them on me. And then I'll pour some water on it after I stomp it. And if you do that enough, they will eventually move and go somewhere else.
And you keep moving them.
And you just keep moving.
And Danny also uses gas.
I will use gasoline occasionally. I'll punch a hole in the top of an ant bed and pour about half a cup of gas down in it and stomp the dirt back over it, and it usually kills the whole bed.
They're saying, would you do it on Patreon? Lots of times, even Patreon is like
Patreon
YouTube
ain't much
now.
different than YouTube now.
They're trying to.
They censor everything.
Almost all platforms are censoring to a certain.
Yeah.
They'll let you say stuff, but you know.
And everybody keeps saying, "Well, go to this platform and go to that platform." Guys, I'm in behind all this stuff, and let me tell you,
you're just not going.
When you go to these other platforms, it's just like taking cows, putting them into a corral, and leading them down a chute to run them into the slaughterhouse. All they're doing is gathering up all the people in the United States and all over the world
that think a certain
way, and they're putting them in certain platforms so that when the time comes, they'll know who they are.
Okay, somebody asked, I lost it now. I don't even know what it was. Somebody says they light the beds on fire, fire ant beds. Yeah.
You can do that.
Does boiling water kill fire ants? The ones
it hits, it does. But the time that water goes 4 inches deep in that ant bed, it's done not boiling anymore.
And they're gone.
And they're gone. I mean, it doesn't stop them. They'll come right back.
What are you paying for gas and diesel in Mississippi?
We get self-service down here, non-ethanol gas.
Full service.
Well, full service.
We get full
We
service.
get full service, non-ethanol. We're paying close to $4 a gallon for gas and diesel, and that's the tax exempt. Now we don't use the other, but tax exempt. We're paying that.
Somebody said, do you play a musical instrument? I play the piano. I haven't played in several years, but I do play.
I played the radio.
You played the trumpet.
I played the trumpet for years. Yes, I did. I played the guitar for a while. I played the trumpet for a while. Yeah, I did.
You just hadn't picked them up in many, many years.
Yeah, I don't do it no more. Danny, can you tell me where I can purchase the Timuc rabbits from? The McMinnoses, I don't know. Do they sell them?
I don't know.
So to everybody, I mean, I don't know. They're going to sell us ours, but I don't know about anybody else.
I don't know. When we get ours, we'll find out and
I'll
see.
ask.
She's raising some of them for us. She's already having them, you know, timing it with the births and when she's bringing them and stuff.
Do I want all homesteaders to survive? No, I don't. Now, that may sound cruel, but I do not want all homesteaders to survive because most of them are not real. It's a fad, and
you should have said yes.
no. I don't want stupid people to survive because if something happens, I want people around that's got some intelligence about them.
Intelligent.
I want the intelligent, hardworking people, homesteaders.
Okay.
That's got a good head on their shoulders, got a good work ethics, not armchair homesteaders or Cheeto eating homesteaders. You know, you can look at people and tell whether they're true or not.
Okay.
I can't go into that. I'll get in trouble.
Did you see Grow Family's video on the dream he had? Yes.
Yes, we did.
I follow King as much as I can, and I watched part of a video today. He was outside. Danny watched a little while when he was inside, and I did see the one with the dream the other day. Amdro works pretty well on fire ants.
Amdro will work on fire ants because that's what the nursery up the road from us uses, but if it gets wet, it's useless.
All right, how do you kill periwinkle?
I don't know, because we don't have periwinkle here. Maybe you have to use bullwinkle. I don't know, but
what does bullwinkle have to do with periwinkle?
I don't know, it just sounds like a winkle to me, but
what is a good activity for a 2.5 toddler to get her into growing food?
Ooh, at 2.5 years old?
You can't keep them still long.
You can't, it all depends on the mentality of the 2.5-year-old. And I've seen some that was very.
You could teach them to put the seed in plant a couple of cups.
Yeah.
And then teach them to leave them alone, and then let them water daily.
I would probably let them color vegetables first, and get them used to different vegetables. Let them know like coloring peppers and coloring tomatoes and coloring
what color
they are, the shapes they are, and those types of things.
That's a good idea.
Before I let them. Well, I've been a teacher my whole life. I mean, I'm the one who taught the teachers. What are you talking about?
I know.
I would probably let them color certain vegetables and fruits and let them get familiar with all of them until they get to be about 3.5 maybe, and then start them teaching them about planting and growing, and by that time they'll know what they look like and what to expect.
You could also, if they're not swallowing stuff, when they get to the age that you can put out different seeds, and identify different seeds. That would be even good for older kids because kids nowadays don't know what seed. Even adults don't even know what seeds look like.
Most adults don't know the difference between a weed and a seed.
Yeah, and then you have to teach them.
That's why we don't want all homesteaders to survive.
Yeah, and they can help pick stuff.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you show them which one to pick and which one not.
And they're really good at it because ours was picking blueberries.
Yeah.
And they only picked the bluest one.
When we told my granddaughters, you only pick the bluest one. Joy, she would sit there and she'd go through them and she'd pick the blue ones. And she'd pick all the blue ones. Now, when Danny's grandsons were here, this has been about 4 years ago, they were small. And I said, y'all just pick the boy ones, pick the blue ones, don't pick the girl ones that are pink. And them kids was just pulling all of them off. And I kept on telling them, just pick the boy ones, not the girl ones. And so, there's ways to associate in their mind. Yeah. So that they start learning what to do.
Yeah, it just depends on the mentality of the child and what age level of mentality they're at. Not all kids are created equal, I promise you.
Yeah. And somebody said like the dried beans or dried something, they can sit and pull the pods apart, pods apart and take the dried seeds out and stuff. That's a good way to get them interested.
Yeah. I was a very intelligent small child.
Too intelligent.
I was too intelligent when I was little. If my parents was alive, they would tell you that.
His mama has stories.
My mama
Lots
had
of stories.
tons of stories about me when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I knew too much. What's the best way to use rabbit manure? Tea or apply it dry around the plants? Just put it out dry. Now, tea is good. Don't get me wrong. I would keep both. If you need a plant, if you got a plant that's not doing too well and it needs like to be boosted real quick, I would use tea on it. But if you're just sitting out some plants and you want to like side dress some plants or something like that, the dry manure works really, really good. Drew Miller says, I'm just a farmer, but I plan to survive. Laugh out loud. Hey,
that's what
that's
we
fantastic.
Need,
that's what we
that are determined.
That has the determination to survive and not sit back and say, well, I can't do this or I can't do that. You just will get out of my way, because if you can't do nothing, I just run over you. I mean, I hate to say that, but I was raised that way.
Lucy, we have videos for you, honey. Monday's video.
We've got some fine stuff coming.
Be on pineapples, and Thursday's video is going to be on pineapples. So y'all going to get your overload on pineapples, because Danny has.
Yep.
I can't talk about it no more, but y'all just wait.
Info tonight is not for the snowflakes. Can I get an amen? Amen.
Okay, so
most homesteaders will die, I'm going to tell you.
On Monday's video, it is going to have something to do with pineapples. That's the one you comment and have the survival garden seeds in the comment if you want seeds. Just saying.
Yeah.
Sheep will survive this heat
and drought. Yeah, sheep are pretty good, but sheep will also destroy your lands. Be careful of that.
All right, let me look and see what oh, I know. This week, let me
get this here. Hold on. Oh, it went past. I didn't get to see it.
Let me tell what my thing was hunting. Tuesday, the Shelf Stable collab on.
Thank you, Tony. I had to see who it was.
Crazy Days. What did he ask? Getting some
good rain up here in Banner. Praying y'all get what's needed for you. Thank you, Tony. We appreciate that, my friend.
All right, the Shelf Stable collab over on Crazy Days. Tuesday, y'all check that out. And then the next Tuesday, I think, whatever the 10th is, I'm doing the August Jamboree. And y'all, we're going to be doing cooking with our jam instead of just showing you how to make jam. We're going to be showing you how to cook something in a recipe. But 4 Jars is sponsoring the Jamboree. And we're really excited because 4 Jars is giving all of us as participants in the collab 2 $50 gift certificates each channel to give away. So I will be giving away 2 $50 4-jar gift certificates, and then at the end of August, Mary Ellen, who is Prepper Potpourri, is going to be giving away a $100 Visa gift card from 4 Jars that you can use on anything. So y'all are going to get a lot of stuff, so be looking for the August Jamboree. Mine will be on the 10th.
Okay, Costmania, 2 to 4 years, depends on how much heat your plant gets and how much fertilizer it gets. Guys, I got to stop the chat and go back just a minute. There was so many of them here. Have I ever grown trees from cherry or peach pits? Yes, the best peach trees I ever had in my life was grown from seeds.
Yes.
I'm talking about my most productive peaches and most disease-resistant ones. Yeah.
Are the fish reproducing? Oh,
yes, our fish are reproducing like crazy.
We saw some catfish that were small, so we know they're reproducing because 2 years ago we put this size in there, and they're huge, like 3 to 4 pounds.
What's the best rabbit for beginning to have rabbits? Probably the New Zealand whites are probably the best.
You need me to run it?
That's good.
Is it down?
Yes, I think it's all the way now. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let me see. A jamboree is fun. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
it gives you a lot of different ways to use jams, jellies, or preserves, and that's what we're going to do this August. It'll start August 1st.
Do I know of a book to care for the deceased if there's a grid down and it's not coming back? Well, there ain't much you can do for them. You just have to wrap them up and
I
dig a
don't know.
hole.
You would have. I don't know that anybody really talks about
Nobody
that.
talks about that anymore. I mean,
The old people knew how to do that, and that is one. I'm glad you brought that up because that is one
that's a lost art.
area that nobody knows how to do anything.
Yeah.
We might ask Cody. He would know.
The YouTube channel called The Max. You could ask Cody. Cody deals with that all the time. He probably would have a better answer than I would because he works in a funeral home there, and he probably could answer that better. So you can go to the Max YouTube channel and tell Cody that Deep South sent you over there, and
but that is something
that's
really,
a good question. That's really a good question. I mean,
and
I don't want
to. Would he do something on that?
I don't want to lead somebody wrong.
Yeah, because I'm not.
I mean, I know what I would do, but I wouldn't put it on here.
Yeah, I don't know the right way to do something. Now, all of us will figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
And when things happen, there will be ways that people do things that might not be legal now, but
good night, purely grounded.
At that point, you have to do what you have to do to keep contamination down.
Yeah. We hadn't got any ducks yet. We're gonna hold off on getting the ducks for a while. We got a lot of stuff we got to get in order, guys. We're overwhelmed right now. These things coming down the pipeline that I'm afraid I'm not gonna have time to get things done in time. I mean, not in case, but in time. And I'm kind of, with my leg messed up, I'm kind of having to hire some work out. We're pushing with this heat. I'm not able to get out in the day and work. I have to work early in the mornings and late in the afternoons, and just not being able to get stuff done.
Do you think it's too late to buy land? We are still looking.
No,
even though
we look for land. We got this place. We're always looking for land because your grandkids are not going to have any land if somebody doesn't help them out. Because when they get old enough to buy land, it's probably not going to be available for them if somebody don't do it in the future.
Someone's saying to use lime when you bury somebody, and another person said
lime is good. I will tell you this, and I will tell you a survival technique that we were trained to use. If there's dead bodies around, put Vicks salve right under your nose right here, and it allows you to be able to handle and get around and not get without the smell getting sick at your stomach or something like that. I mean, I'll throw some little tips out like that.
The other one was somebody said do not bury anybody near water sources.
Yeah, don't put them near your water sources because it'll contaminate your water source. That's correct.
Are you using any Jadam methods?
Yes, we're using the urine methods. We're using the putting the leaves back into the soil and.
But I have all the things to start my new batch.
Yes.
I've ordered everything to get everything started that I didn't already have. Most stuff you have on your homestead, but there was a few things like sulfur and I can't remember what the others were. I had to order that in because I didn't have it, and it is all here now.
How do I get rid of algae in my pond? Theirs has turned dark green. One of mine turned so dark green it wasn't even funny. And then it come a good rain and it all went away.
Would shredded paper be good for compost?
It's good for worms. It's not bad for compost. If you put it in compost, it's just going to take you about a year to break down real good. But if you've got worms in your compost, if it's not too hot, depends on which type of compost you're doing. There's two different types of composting. If you're doing the cold method, it's great. But if you're doing the hot method, it may not be so good.
What livestock would you recommend for your land rather than sheep?
Dexter cows. The Dexters are the #1 cow for homesteaders.
Let's see. Our 17-year-old daughter built a rain catchment with her dad this week. He's in a wheelchair. What needs to be done can be if you want it bad enough.
Yes,
Yes,
I agree with
is
that.
awesome.
It's awesome. Yes, I know there's a troll on here. Our moderators are well trained to deal with that. If everybody just leave them alone.
Yeah, let the moderators handle it. They're doing good. Um, let's see. Yeah, the mods are quick, so y'all just, as long as y'all don't mess with anything, the mods can get them, because once people start clicking on it trying to help the mods, it gets more confusing. And if you start saying, hey, there's a troll, you're throwing up more comments for them to have to weed through to get the troll.
Do we have a horse? No. As far as we're concerned, a horse is a hole with a bucket with a hole in the bottom of it. Now, if it's a workhorse and you plow with it every day or something like that, that's fine. But just to have a horse around just to ride occasionally or something like that, you're not going to be able to afford it in the future. It's just a bucket with a hole in the bottom of it. It's going to break you financially.
Do you crack a peach seed before planting?
No, I just plant mine. The best way to plant them is just take a bucket full of like leaves and put those peach seeds down in it and just put some water in the leaves. Do I eat the snakes that I killed? No, I do not eat any. I would if I was starving.
This week.
I saw one this week and I didn't get him, but if I was starving, yeah, I would, but I'm not starving.
Why are Dexter cows better than regular cows?
Dexter cows love weeds, tree leaves, anything like that. You don't have to have this pretty green grass in fields. They can survive in weeds and woods.
What could break corn in half? They have no deer, so what else?
Coons, foxes, possums. I mean, all these animals will destroy corn. They'll jump up on a fox will jump up and grab the stalk and break it over. Coons will climb up on them and break them over. Possums will do the same thing.
Miss Sherry said she got her old-fashioned onions and they're doing great. Ours are doing great.
Ours are doing real good right now.
Somebody asked about your ankle.
My ankles are fine, but my knee's not too good.
It was his knee, not his ankle.
I have broke both my ankles though.
Comment.
When am I planting my carrots? I will Simmons, I will plant my carrots probably late September. Will probably be when I do it.
Do you ever use cardboard in your rows to hold moisture?
No, we do not use cardboard because I have to plow my fields, and you can't plow a field if you got cardboard in it.
Lucy says she started pineapple in her greenhouse and they're doing great. Do you think we are going to have an EMP attack and have to deal with it long-term outages?
I'm not as worried about. Let me put it to you this way: EMPs, nuclear weapons, are like firecrackers. They're not your worst enemy anymore. Used to, nukes were like, everybody was like, man, a nuke is a bad weapon. It's still a bad weapon, but we've got weapons now that make a nuke look like a firecracker. So probably the possibility of using an EMP would be good, but I don't think it. I'd be more worried about a CME than I am an EMP.
How often do you water sweet potatoes when there's no rain? So they
water mine. I water mine once a week, about an inch once a week, and that's plenty.
Would a Dexter Jersey cross be good for a family milk cow?
Yes, we have a Dexter Jersey cross ourselves, and she is fantastic.
Yeah, Dolly, our first cow, is a Dexter Jersey cross, and she's the only one that we can milk. Probably could milk her calf.
Candy, I could probably milk Candy without any problem.
They're easier. Dolly was the only one that's really let us do anything. The others are kind of spooky. Do you have a video on how to build a root cellar?
We have a video on building a root cellar. I'm not sure.
It's not
a how-to build one.
Yeah.
When I built it, we didn't really take a lot of pictures because it was years ago, and I just have some pictures of the one we built.
And he talked about it.
And I talked about it. What is a CME? A CME is a coronal mass ejection, which is what the sun gives off. I can't go into a lot of this, but when the geomagnetic fields around the Earth are relaxed, the sun actually goes to sleep, and when it goes to sleep, it has solar flares that it gives off every so often, and as it gives off those solar flares, if they're earth facing, it depends on whether it's a kill shot or not, whether it's an X or an M solar flare. It can be devastating. It can burn up all electronics. And that's just rough. I'm not going to go into the details of it. No, not on this video.
What do y'all use fat lighter?
Yes, we use fat lighter to start our fires with in our fireplaces and our wood heaters.
Yeah, and they're wanting to know, is Dixie, she is not, she's full Dexter.
She's full of Dexter.
Yeah, her mama and her daddy's Dexter.
Did we give our sheep minerals? What were they? Yeah, you have to be careful with sheep. What is it that sheep don't need? It's been so long since we had sheep. Copper. Sheep.
Yeah, copper was one of them.
I think now goats need copper. You have to give
Sheep
goats
didn't.
copper boluses. You have to give to goats, but sheep do not need a high copper diet.
That's it. Tag wants to know when you're building Wanda a Wallapini. Tag's gonna have to build.
I'm learning from you, Tag. I want to see I want to see how you do it.
That's Stephanie's asking that. She's been watching Tag.
Well, Tag was on here a while ago. Yeah.
Oh, then he may have asked
Yeah.
that. When Tag gets his Wallapini done, Danny might have all his projects done, and we might consider it if we find property that would do a Wallapini.
Yeah.
We have to go way up north. I think fire ants would eat it down here.
Is it true an asteroid hit the moon? No, it's not true. The moon was nuked. I wasn't supposed to say that, was I?
Yeah, hush.
I'm sorry.
How many days does
you didn't hear that?
Erase that.
Erase that.
Go back.
Yeah.
Okay, how many days does it take for Cherokee Tan pumpkins to produce?
About 90 to 100 days. They did not pass the livestock tax that I'm aware of. It's in the new Green Deal. If they did, they haven't enforced it that I'm aware of.
All right. Wanda will slap him on the back of the head when he talks too much. Yeah. Okay. What is the sweetest sweet corn?
The sweetest sweet corn would probably be something like G90, peaches and cream. They've got an array of them out there now. A lot more than what they used to have.
How long does it take to get slips from purple sweet potatoes? The soil has to be a certain temperature, right?
Yeah, it takes about 3 to 4 weeks to
Unless you put them in a glass jar. I don't know.
If you put them in a glass jar, it's going to take forever. But if you put them in dirt and keep it moist, usually about 3 weeks, you'll have some good slips.
Is BPA a problem if I use blue baby pools? What's BPA?
It's a product that, like I said, your canning lids and all. They had to make sure that it's not in plastics and canning lids and all. I'm not going to go into all that on this video.
But I mean, they were.
It's probably not going to hurt anything. I'll be honest with you.
Mr. Ray said keep his wife.
Yeah, because it's after 9.
Prayer. We do not make pemmican.
No, we don't make pemmican. I mean, we could if we needed to, but we don't. Tim, I talked about the ducks a while ago. I said we're not going to be doing any ducks. Not right now. We don't have time.
Somebody asked about security, but we don't have time to get into that right now because we're 10 minutes after. Yes, we need to pray for those that have problems with the drought. Finally, we're getting some rain, so ours kind of.
A lot of the cattle farmers this year are having to get rid of their cows. And what that's going to do is when things do get better, is it'll take 3 years to be able to get back to where they can have cows again, and that's going to put us in a 3-year slump.
Yeah, so it's going to get maybe a little worse before it ever starts to even think about getting better, and that's if nothing else happens.
Can elderberries be planted in the fall? Yes, you can plant elderberries in the fall.
We want to remember the people that have had fires, the people that have had
floods,
the people that's had drought.
Yep.
I mean, there's all kinds of things going on. I wanted to say happy anniversary to Danny and Wanda.
Yes, I need to wish Danny and Wanda a happy anniversary because their anniversary was it this past week?
I think they were giving them a surprise birthday party tonight, so I can say that because they're probably not watching right now, and they're probably at their surprise birthday party, but they're son or daughter, I done
I
forgot.
forgot which one it
Daughter, I
was.
think, sent me a message.
Yeah. Happy anniversary, Danny and Wanda.
There is another one.
There is another one out there, guys.
Okay. Pray for a friend's 18-year-old passed, and pray for the family of that 18-year-old. We were asked to keep them in prayers.
Yeah, they took him off life support, is what I understand. Yeah.
Kentucky.
Yes.
Was it Vegas that got flooded too?
Vegas got flooded, which, if y'all remember correctly, I told y'all there's going to be California, New York City, Vegas, Florida. You know, I'm not going to go into all of them. I told you I'd give you a list of some states and some cities that's going to see some problems.
Yeah. And there's been fires.
Yes.
Places that had severe fires. So, I mean, y'all, it's all over the place. Other countries are having it. It's not just the United States. Different countries are having lots of issues too.
Yeah.
So we just keep everybody in prayer. Remember Danny.
Yeah.
You know.
That's somebody asked a question. Danny, why are sheep bad for our land? As you said, thank you. The problem with sheep is sheep will eat the grass down to the dirt. And if you don't keep them rotated off of pasture really regularly and really fast, they will eat it to the dirt and they will kill your grass. And that's the reason in the West, when cattle ranchers people come through with sheep, it would make them so angry because the sheep would ruin the pasture lands for the cattle. And that's something that you just have to keep in mind.
Flint McRock, he said he bought 10 pair of pantyhose at Dollar Store yesterday to make hammocks for his cantaloupes. The lady at the counter looked at him a little funny. He said, I look good in these. Oh, that would be so funny. That's something Danny would pull.
Jay Robinson said, where did you discuss the states and what cities in Florida? Did I do that on Patreon?
You didn't really talk about certain cities. You just said Florida in general.
Well, it's just, yeah.
He didn't say certain places.
It might have been on Porch Time too. I might have mentioned it on Porch
probably.
Time. And I didn't do just a video on it. I've done it just mentioning it in a video, because if I do a specific video on it, I can get in trouble.
Yeah. Do goats do that to a pasture?
Goats are not as bad as sheep, because goats, first of all, you don't want your goat grazing anything shorter than 6 inches. Because if goats graze on grass, they will get what's called a barber pole worm, because a barber pole worm lives in the top 6 inches of the grass, especially if it's damp and wet. Oh, gotta be still. The camera's going wacky on me here. If the grass is wet, the barber pole worm is up on the grass. If it's dry, he's down next to the dirt. You don't want your goat grazing on wet grass, because if you do, they're going to get wormy and they will die on you. So you have to be constantly worming them. So goats do better on weeds and bushes and stuff like that where they're not close to the ground.
Yeah. Somebody said ducks are nasty and pluck the grass from the roots.
I agree with that. They do.
Well, there are several reasons that we would love to have ducks, but we don't want ducks. So those are down the road if we ever get them.
That's a way down the road. It's not anything right
Miss
now.
Gail said pray for her surgery.
Yes.
Low or high potassium can cause heart rate.
Yes, they've checked all that for me, and they've not found anything wrong with me. They tell me I'm perfectly healthy.
Miss Starla is over her C, or at least on the mend. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in the dark this week.
Somebody said the lighting is much better. I don't know what you changed. We put a black thing up here just to see what would happen, because our lighting was hitting that white and reflecting, and it took us right before this to figure out what we were doing. So we'll have something a little different, but it'll probably be something darker behind us from now
Susie
on.
Q said, pray for my husband. He has poor circulation in his swollen feet. Tell him to soak his feet in some Epsom salt. That does help. How much land do you need for Dexter cows?
According to how many you have.
Well, it depends on what kind of land you have, first of all. But if you've got good grass, you need 1 acre per cow for large cows, And if you got
That's-
Dexter cows, you can put 2 cows per acre.
Can you eat kudzu?
I've
No.
heard that you can. I'm not going to because I don't have to.
And we don't have it on our
And we don't have it on our property.
Thank goodness.
Now goats love kudzu.
You look like you're in a fake NASA space video. That's
We-
what I feel like.
Well, we are.
We're in
Miss
a
Wanda's got me
new-
held
we're in a
back.
new location.
Well,
out in space somewhere.
Miss Wanda's got me held back from saying some things, and I can't tell y'all where we actually are
No,
because we've changed a lot of our things, and she told me before we came on here, she says, "Do not tell them people what's going on." And I said, she said, "I know how you are about running your mouth. Sometimes you'll say things, and I'll be slapping you, and you'll be causing all these problems because we're really, we don't."
Actually, I was saying he couldn't talk about the videos. That's what I said. Do not mention the videos because he would tell y'all in detail everything that went on this week, and then I wouldn't have y'all would have no reason to watch the videos.
Yeah.
So basically, Monday is pineapples. Thursday mentions pineapples, shows pineapples. Both days y'all getting pineapples. Just saying, but you got to watch the video to find out, and you got to comment. Monday, survival garden seeds.
Yeah, we, you can eat kudzu. I was just joking with y'all. You can eat kudzu. I'm not going to because I don't have to. If I had to, I probably would. It's like my sweet potato vines. I've got the most beautiful sweet potatoes right now you have ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
They got leaves like this. I mean, they're huge. But okay. And we don't eat them. I mean, if we have to, we will. You can stir fry the stems on the sweet potato leaves. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. But we don't have to right now, so we're not going to.
I mean, a lot of our things are here because in the future we may need them.
Yeah.
We've planted lots and lots of stuff that we don't use on a regular basis, and one of them is like yarrow. We have yarrow just growing wild in our backyard, and people always want to know, what do you do with yarrow? I really don't do anything with it. It just grows. And
we leave it growing. I mow it down occasionally.
It down and it comes back.
I'll get to looking at it and I'll say, I'm just going to mow that crap down. I'll run over it and mow it down. In a few weeks, it's standing back up there greener and prettier than it ever was.
So it's here. We have medicinal purposes for keeping it. And if we ever have those issues, then we know where it's at. And that's why we keep most of the earth that we keep. Is because of medicinal purposes in the future.
It's for future for us. I mean, right now, I'm gonna enjoy my electricity. I'm gonna I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm gonna can in the house and stay in the air conditioner if I can, and I'm not gonna go outside in the heat if I don't have to. But if I have to, I will.
Yeah, people do need motivation to keep prepping. There's so much negativity and there's so much. So many people doing drama videos.
Yeah.
And okay, I get Danny's been doing porch time for a long time, and a lot of people think that porch time is negative and it's drama, but he's been doing porch time for what, 6 years?
Yeah, it ain't nothing new for me.
And he told people in the beginning, porch time is his way of letting the process of things going through his brain out.
Yeah.
And it's not meant to be fear mongering.
It's not for fear mongering or
anything
like that, guys. I get so much information from so many different places.
He just has to talk it out sometimes.
And God gives it to me for a reason. I'm in with certain, everybody. I made a comment on another YouTube channel, and people poked fun at me, and I was like, you know what? I don't really care because I know the truth. And I'm not going to worry about it. You can make fun about it all you want. As a matter of fact, porch time this coming week, you'll probably understand what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, I think he's got a good porch
I've got
time.
a good porch time coming up if everything goes well. And I think you'll enjoy it. It may upset a few people, but you know what? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do what my daddy done to me one time. Now the camera may go blurry, and if it does, please forgive me. I'm going to try to move real slow toward the camera, and I'm going to get right up here, and I'm going to do what my daddy did. He said, look way down in my eye right there and see if I give a darn. That's what my dad used to do. And some things I just don't care about. I'm not going to stress over them. I'm not going to worry about them. If you're not going to prepare and you're not going to take care of yourself and you're not going to do something about it, more power to you, man. You just be one less I got to worry about.
Yeah. But what I was getting at is there's so much negativity and there's so much now that is fear oriented. It's almost like every time I look at headlines, I just scan the thumbnails, and you can ask Danny, we don't watch 90% of the videos now that people put up because it is fear mongering.
Yeah.
Or either it's drama. I mean,
I'm not into drama.
If you're not drama,
no.
It's got to be negative, and almost everybody's title is negative.
Yeah.
And the negative titles is what's getting you videos and, you know, getting you the views, but it's negative and stuff, and I just get tired of it. I don't want to hear the negative. I don't want my head full of that.
No. Now there's some things people get faith. We did a podcast on this.
We did a video too.
And a video. People get faith confused with delusion.
Yeah.
You know, and reality. You know, if you can't accept reality, then you're probably living with a delusional lifestyle. So, I mean, just think about that. Let it sink in for a moment.
Yeah.
And we don't do drama. I don't believe in drama.
Now, we have some things happen occasionally.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to blow it out of the water like it's the worst thing that ever happened in the world. I mean, he got his not Danny corn, his Hopi corn eat by a little squirrel.
They eat my Hopi corn. We could have blew that out of the water. We could have said, "Oh my God, what happened to our Hopi corn?" And we could have done all kind of dramatic.
He could pour tears down his eyes or something. I mean, whatever. Yeah. You know, he could put on this weird face. I mean, I hate weird faces. If y'all do weird faces on your thumbnails, I'm sorry. The weird faces turn me off. It's just one of those things. I just think it's stupid, and I don't think people should be doing it.
I'm only there for the real people. You know, our YouTube channel, people look at us and go, "Man, I don't know why y'all don't have 1 million views." Well,
because we don't do clickbait.
We don't buy our
faces.
We don't do the stupid faces. We don't buy our vote. I mean, our views.
You can buy views. By the way, if somebody that you see has a small channel and they're not getting views, and all of a sudden it jumps to gigantic, lots of times they buy views.
Yeah,
just saying.
You can pay somebody from another country to do your videos for you and all that kind of stuff. But we have them contact us every day.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't get into none of that. We just who we are. If we make it, we make it. If we sink, we sink. If we swim, we swim. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Now I can make some weird faces.
Danny's got a variety.
I've got a variety of them, but I don't know why we want to. You know, I mean,
we just want to be real. And if we don't get but 10 views, we get 10 views. That's okay. We're okay from the beginning.
Yeah, you're right, LG Homestead. You can buy votes too, because that's happened. That happened this past 2 years ago, I believe. If I'm not crazy. And it may happen this year. Who knows?
But since we've been doing YouTube, we know that people buy views.
Yeah.
We've known that for years, and we chose not to.
We were told in the beginning
that
we asked a question to an individual, said, wonder why we're not getting any more views like everybody else, and they told us we weren't ready.
Yeah, they told us we weren't ready.
And they said, you know,
we watched their channel blow out of the water, and we watched others that they knew blow out of the water, and it took me probably 2 years to figure out what was going on. And then and I watch people, and I know how people edit. And when your editing skills go from you don't know what you're doing to professional, and then after about a year, it goes back to you don't know what you're doing, you kind of paid somebody along the way. I mean, to be honest with you, that's just my thought.
We're not that kind of people, okay? That's one reason we're kind of in the dark tonight. So
we're in space.
Yeah, we're in space tonight.
We're
checking out the
asteroids and the comets and the incoming...
Well, actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is not being taught. Well, tip of the night before we get off of here. I might as well go ahead.
Pray, but you can do your tip first.
Let's go ahead and pray first. Okay.
No, you'll forget your tip.
No, I won't either.
Okay, y'all. He ain't told me what the tip is, so y'all, he'll forget it.
Okay. Okay.
If we say that.
If we say that. Okay, Father, we come to you tonight, Lord. We love you. We appreciate you. And Father, there's been a ton of prayer requests come through here tonight. And I want to pray for all of them. I mean, there's some surgeries and just, Lord, lots of requests come through here. And I can't remember every one of them, but I know you've seen them, every one. That's why we tell people to post them so that not only we pray for them, Lord, other people can pray for them. I want to pray for the drought-stricken areas of our country. We've been in a drought. Hey, people pray for us, and I want to pray for everybody else. I want to return the favor. And I want to pray for those that's having fires, those that's flooding, and the loss of life in the floods up in Kentucky. And Lord, your judgment has fell on Vegas. They're getting flooded. There's so many things, Paul, I can't even go into here. But you know what I'm talking about. And there's judgment that has befallen our nation, Lord. I tried to warn the people. I tried to tell the people what you showed me about the extremes of everything that was coming. And I think that a lot of people's paid attention. I think a lot of people's making preparations. And I pray that they are. I pray that everything goes well for people. I pray that you allow everybody to be prepped up as much as they can for what's coming. I'm going to pray for people along the coastlines of the United States. Let me go ahead and pray for that, Father. Not going to go into it, but I'm going to pray for everybody along the coastlines. And Lord, I want to pray that that everybody gets the right amount of rain, everybody gets the right amount of sun, and everything they need for their crops. Lord, we are your people living in an Egyptian world, a Babylonian world here, Father, one that's being riddled with sin. And we're asking as your people that you look down upon us and find grace and mercy on us, Lord, and help us to be secure in the land that we live in. Grant us the blessings of obedience, Father. Grant us the blessings of Malachi 4, where you teach us and tell us that you'll watch over our land and you'll not let the devourer come upon it, Lord, and all this kind of stuff. There's lots of things there that you talk to us about. We're going to pray that everybody in the chat tonight has these things, Father. And everybody that's not well tonight, I'm going to pray for them. And I'm going to pray for the physical condition of people. I'm going to pray for the spiritual condition of people here tonight. And I'm going to pray for the emotional side for people here tonight, Lord. I'm going to pray for the financial side of people here tonight, Father. I'm going to pray for all these areas of people that are needing all these things. And Lord, there's lots of people that's in the hospital. There's people that's lost loved ones, Lord. Miss Vicky tonight, Lord, my heart goes out to her. Having lost a third child, and it's never easy. I know I've experienced that with my former wife. The loss of 3 children, Lord, that's devastating to a parent when that happens. And Father, so we're going to pray a special prayer for her tonight and ask that you give her grace and the mercy that she needs to be able to find the peace to carry on in this life, Lord. And Father, with that being said, we're going to ask that you forgive each and every one of us here tonight. We ask these things in thy name. Amen. Okay. Jesus is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. There ain't nothing no truer ever been said.
Amen.
He is that. He always will be, forever and ever. And guys, you know, time was created specifically. Messed my hair up, Ms. Wanda. Yeah, your hand hit it when you went over.
Sorry.
Time was created for man. Time is not created for God. That's one thing most people don't understand. But a few things tonight, a few tips tonight.
Whoa.
Boy, the chat just jumped all of a sudden. I said I'm gonna pray for people around the coastlines of the world and the United States tonight. I am. There's some events fixing to happen probably in the next, 6 to 8 months. That could alter the lives of people living around coastlines. There's also a body that's coming real close to the earth on July the 31st. That's you won't find that talked about anywhere, but it's coming. And it's going to pass
like tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to pass really close.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah. And the big issue with this body, I'm going to say, is that it has a debris field behind it. So don't be alarmed if you hear about some debris or if you hear about unusual earthquakes or an unusual volcano erupting or something like that because of the magnetic pull from it.
Or if something, pieces hit the earth in different places.
Pieces hit the earth in different places. Don't be alarmed.
It could happen.
There's also a Chinese rocket that's just out there. I don't know if it went down today or not, but it's just.
It entered the atmosphere over Malaysia into the Indian Ocean.
Okay.
Maybe it did.
I knew it was supposed to come down, and that's not the body I'm talking about. Okay.
That was just
Lucy, no, an asteroid did not hit the moon. I said in the video back what happened to the moon. Yeah, there's actually 2 bodies that are passing this weekend that is not in the news nowhere.
They don't want to talk about stuff.
Yeah, will it be visible? Not with the naked eye. No, it will not be visible. We need to pray for President Biden to recover from the second round of COVID. I don't know if I should or not, but I mean,
yes,
yes, we probably should, but because I really don't want the other alternatives in there.
Yeah.
Because they're worse than he is. At least we know he's delusional. We don't know about the others yet. Susie Q said MFATW said oceans will rise 15 feet in the future. I guess if there's some truth to that, I will say that. I'm not going to go into any kind of details about it, but there is some truth to it. The MFATW. Okay, whatever.
Let's see. Okay, so what were you gonna say about that, or before we get off?
No, that's my tip, was to just be prepared, guys.
And someone could visit a country that could cause a world war.
Someone could visit a country that could enhance World War III, because World War III's already started. It could enhance it.
Yeah.
There's also some things I have to watch for how I say them. Prepare yourselves for a roller coaster weather in the very near future. Prepare yourself for a brutal winter. This winter, we're going to go from, you'll see some of the coldest temperatures you've ever seen one day to being hot the next day. I mean, we've got some things coming that is going to literally make you wonder what in the world has happened. And that's the reason I've been talking about faith. Build your faith, because you're going to need it in the very near future. Because if you don't have a strong faith, you'll be led astray by the things that you see, because they're going to be so convincing as to the way they're going to project them, that if you're not a strong person in faith, you will believe them. And because even God said, I'm going to send a strong delusion upon the earth. And we're going to start seeing these things. I mean, there's no-fly zones right now being posted over parts of the Pacific Ocean. I mean, there's things that's happening because there's events happening that they don't want us to know about. So just be prepared for unusual weather wherever you live at, because it's going to be nationwide. It's not going to be any one specific area. The whole nation's going to experience a roller coaster of weather. And then there's going to be coastal events, let me put it that way, in the near future.
The coastal events, the beginning of them is going to be how far inland?
It depends on the it depends on the altitude. I mean the how to say that? It depends on the elevation you live at. If you live at Actually, there's going to be a series of events. Let me say that. Not just one event. There is a series of events that's going to take place. If you live along any coastline, just be aware that
James says, are they going to reveal aliens? Some think so.
They already are in process of doing that.
They're wanting you to believe some things.
There's some things out there that they want you to believe because you're fixing, and the reason they're doing this, gosh, I didn't want to get into this tonight, but the reason they're doing this
slightly
is because there's some things that's going to start happening that people are going to be questioning, and they want to lead you down a particular path.
And that's one of them.
And the alien issue is one of those paths. It's technically not aliens. It's demonic.
Spiritual
it's
beings.
Spiritual, demonic spiritual stuff.
Yeah, you need to get close to God so that you can discern.
Yeah.
If you are not a born again believer, you need to be, because if you can't discern between aliens and spiritual beings, you're going to be in trouble. That's the biggest deal. So
you're not going to find any information out here about what I'm telling you about the coastlines, because they will not publish it, because if they do, it will cause a mass panic. And it's all coastlines of the United States. There's not a coastline of the United States that's not going to be affected. It'll be all coastlines.
But not too far inland to start with.
Not the first phase.
Yeah, the first phase is just going to be mainly the coast.
It's going to be mainly just the coastlines. But there's an event coming later on.
And it could be a year or so.
It could be a year. It could be 2 years down the road. And it may not even be a year. Because we don't know just yet. I haven't got the total information on it just yet. But it's going to happen because of the magnetic fields that the Earth is in right now. Even at that point, I don't know if Wanda and I are even safe where we're at.
Yeah.
And we're right at 300 feet.
And we don't worry about it because we are where we are. And I think that's where everybody needs to make peace with where you're at.
You've got to make peace with like Wanda said, with where you're at, because what the government is saying, I'll tell you behind the scenes what the government is saying. You need to be 600 feet or higher. Now, the truth of that, I've dug into the backgrounds of some of these people and talked to them. The truth is, it's going to be around 300 feet, but they want, I'm sorry, around 400 feet is what they believe to be the safe level, but they're saying 600 to give a 200-foot variance there because they just actually don't know.
So 400 basically, but we're at 300.
We're at 300. So, will we be safe? I don't know, but guys, you can't scare me with heaven. So I'm not going to freak out about it.
We do the best we can.
Yeah.
We have our stuff. We know how to plant. We do what we can do. We have our lives right with the Lord. We know where we're going. And then we put it in God's hands. Danny and I live on faith every day.
Yeah.
And if you can ever get to that faith, living on that faith, then you'll understand. Don't be scared of these beings that they're going to show you.
Yeah.
I guess you should be afraid of the beings.
Yeah, you should be.
Government shows you.
Government will use some crazy things, but
that's going to be your deal.
Yeah, there's man, you almost hate not to be able to tell everybody everything, but it is what it is, guys. Just make peace with yourself, and just make sure your life is right with the Lord. There's nothing we can do to stop what's fixing to happen. Absolutely nothing.
But
I will tell you this: it does deal with the Antarctica.
But the deal is, if you read the back of the book,
what's
going to happen in the back of the book? God wins.
God wins in the back of the book.
You might have some rough goes.
Yeah.
But God wins. So I think that's where most people lose sight. Is they go, oh, we're going to have to go through this. If you have faith, and God will show you how to make it. It might be hour to hour. It might be day to day. It might be month to month, whatever. But God will show you how to get that from point A to point B every time. It might be, but He'll get you there. and get you through it if he intends for you to get through it.
Yeah.
And when you get to the end, God wins. I mean, in the back of the book, God wins.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rough
Good night,
going,
Miss Lippy.
but before it, you know.
Yeah.
Did she say her storm's getting
Oh,
bad?
she said got to put Grandma to bed.
Oh, her grandchildren.
Yeah, Grand's to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, guys, that but I will tell you this: what we're looking at deals with the Antarctica. I'm not going to go into details about it. You're probably not going to find it out there. It's behind the scenes information that the government has. They're just not putting it out there because they don't want to cause a panic. I will tell you this: it will happen overnight or within a certain period of time. It will happen, and if everything goes according to what they believe.
Yeah.
But don't let that bother you. Just make sure your life is right with the Lord and build your faith. I mean, Wanda and I know we're in a hot zone. We know that we could be part of, we could be in part of this problem. We're very much aware of that. We've prayed about it. We've sought the Lord's face about it. And right now, He has not given us the freedom to leave here or do anything else. He's told us to stay where we're at, and that's what we're going to do. So, we're going to do the best we can do. And if it's our demise and if it's the end for us where we're at, then it was meant to be, is the way we look at it.
And that's where everybody has to get to. So that's what we need to end on tonight.
Yeah.
Faith. That's what we've been talking about for a long time.
I've been trying to tell people about faith for a long time. You got to start here. I
gotta get this up.
Not that. So guys, thank y'all for watching tonight, and don't be freaked out. Just get your life in order with the Lord. Do the best you can.